Welcome back to the Gentleman's Gazette. In today's video, we talk about 10 menswear gimmick that you absolutely don't need. Have you ever wondered if those collar stickers, sock garters, and shirt stays are worth their money? In today's video, we go through the most overrated menswear gimmicks that are simply not worth their money. Now, if you know us at the Gentleman's Gazette, you know that we like classic things, but that doesn't mean that we're against any form of innovation. There has been great innovation in terms of fabric technologies, and we embrace that and think it's a good thing. At the same time, there are lots of gimmicks out there that just cost a lot of money, and they're more like a band-aid, not really fixing a problem, but just covering it up. So you're much better served in turning off the tap of water and fixing the problem at the source. It will cost you less money down the line, it's less annoying and more comfortable. The first gimmicky item is pouch-style underwear. You maybe have heard of Saxx underwear that comes with mesh sides, or sheath that has an entire pouch, and it's underwear that's meant to keep you more comfortable and less sticky down there. Personally, I like underwear made out of innovative micromodal or other fibers that are really soft and comfortable on your skin. And we actually tried the pouch underwear, and we had one pair with a pouch, and we cut out the pouch on the other pair simply to try it out and figure it out if there was a huge difference. And in my experience, there really isn't. Yes, the underwear may be comfortable, but it's because of the general fabrics used, not necessarily because of the pouch. Personally, I prefer boxer briefs or trunks, so I like them tightly fitting to my skin, and maybe that prevents it. If you find that you need a pouch, that's great, go for it, but I suggest you really test it yourself and don't just believe in the marketing, because oftentimes they just want to sell you a product, not really solve a problem. Feeling uncomfortable? Time to upgrade to newer materials, skip your 100% cotton, and maybe switch to blends that include micromodal because it's a lot softer on your skin and just more comfortable all year round. To learn more about different kinds of underwears in all kinds of price ranges, please check out our underwear guide here. The second gimmicky item are sock suspenders. Don't let anyone tell you that sock suspenders are actually fixing a problem. If you have proper over-the-calf socks in the first place, there is zero need for sock suspenders. So what are sock suspenders? They're little bands that you can put on top of your knee or below your knee that clip onto your socks and are supposed to prevent them from falling down. Now, I give it to them, they actually do the job and keep the socks up, but they're extremely uncomfortable. And just think about being on a date, and when you're ready for action, you'll show your sock suspenders. That simply kills the mood. On top of that, you really only need them if you have mid-calf socks that slide down all the way, or cheap over-the-calf socks that simply don't stay up. I always hated socks that would slide down, and because of that, I designed over-the-calf socks that stay up all day. If you want to take a look at our selection of over-the-calf socks, please head over to our shop here. Of course, you have all kinds of guides, such as our in-depth sock guide where we talk about quality, as well as our PDF guide, which is free, which talks about how to combine shoes, socks, and pants for a stylish outfit. The third gimmicky item goes into the same vein as sock suspenders, but is even worse. It's kind of a sticky tape that you glue onto your skin and the socks so you don't see it, unlike the sock suspenders. Unless you take off the socks, then you have some sticky tape there that you need to rip off along with the hairs, and that must be extremely uncomfortable. Again, it really fixes a problem that shouldn't be there in the first place. Get right socks, get quality socks that stay up, and you don't have to worry about anything else. The fourth gimmick are shirt collar products. Now, the problem many men have is that the tip of the shirt collar points up or it curls at the very end, and so there are multiple solutions on the market to fix that. It ranges from glued products that are supposedly don't leave any residue behind. It includes products with magnets, and most of them don't work. One thing that does work, that's not a gimmick, are regular shirt collar stays. a lot of shirts have the option to remove your collar stays, which are either little sticks with a point made out of metal or plastic, and those really help to keep your collar look straight and neat, at least at the regular part of the collar. If you go down to the tip, oftentimes you see a curling in the shirt, and that's not something a collar stay can prevent. That's actually just poor workmanship on the shirt. Because when you sew fabric together, you have two layers, right? If you sew them together at an angle, as you do in a collar, they are angled and then tightened. Now when you wash them, they shrink at different rates because of the angle, and that is a problem in itself that a well-tailored shirt will not have. Let's say you have the ribbed polo shirt collar that's very flimsy. If you use a magnetic product or if you use those sticky products, they in fact work and keep the collar down. Now, the sticky products are consumables, so they cost you a lot of money down the road. The magnetic products are not consumables, but you lose them eventually. You may lose them in the wash or someplace else, but it's just one more thing to keep in mind and one more thing to take care of. Instead, simply invest in a polo shirt with a shirt-style collar that is not flimsy and stays down all day, every day, so you don't ever have to think about it. Everything looks neat and proper, and you don't have to make any additional investments. Also, if you want to wear your shirt collar without ties, there are shirt makers who cut their shirts specifically for that purpose, so you don't need any magnets or sticky items. Honestly, in my experience, a quality dress shirt fixes all of those things, and yes, they cost more up front, but then you don't have to worry about it down the line. The fifth gimmicky items are shirt stays. Now, those are little devices that are similar to suspenders that you clip at the bottom tail of your shirt and on the top part of your sock. So they're connected. Yes, they do the job. They keep your shirt tucked in and they keep your socks up, but it's extremely uncomfortable to wear them, and I would never want to do that. It's something that's popular with the military because they want the ultimate look and they're willing to sacrifice comfort. However, when it comes to everyday situations, I think getting a shirt that is properly tailored with small armholes will mostly alleviate the issue of having a shirt that comes untucked, and having quality over-the-calf socks solve both of these issues. The sixth overrated and gimmicky item are sleeve garters. They're a thing that became popular in the 20s and 30s when shirts were oftentimes sold in just one sleeve length, especially the more inexpensive ones, and that's all someone could afford. The sleeve garter would help you to pull up that shirt sleeve so it wouldn't hang down and get soiled. Sometimes as you watch old movies or photos, you can see men wearing them when they have their jackets removed. Now, if you want to go for the vintage look, they are a legitimate item. At the same time, today it's very easy to get shirts either custom tailored to exactly your size, or many shirt makers offer different sleeve lengths so you can find exactly the right one for you. So there's really no need to have that extra sleeve garter. On top of that, a proper dress shirt should fit snugly around your wrist, so even if the sleeve was slightly longer, it should never dangle past your hand and get soiled that easily. Again, please check out our in-depth shirt guides and sleeve length guides where we discuss the details of this. The seventh overrated items are tie holders. If you have ties that are made out of printed silk, very slim, they're likely to slip down more on the knot than, let's say, a knit tie or a grenadine tie, simply because there's less friction, because there's less texture. Now, years back, I tested a little device. It was called a tie tack, and you actually clipped it in behind your tie knot, and it did the job for most of the time, unless it didn't when it slid off. And eventually the company folded because they simply couldn't market it enough and sell enough of those. What I found is, if you have issues with slipping tie knots, maybe tie a tighter tie knot if possible. Otherwise, change your ties with a slightly different texture. And if that's not an option, I suggest to go with a tie bar because it helps to fix your tie here. So it pushes up a little bit and it prevents your tie from coming loose. Now, there's no solution that remains 100% effective, and over the course of the day, your tie knot will likely loosen, even if your shirt color is exactly the right size. But that's when you simply go to the bathroom and just readjust your tie, pull up the knot so everything looks neat and dapper. The 8th gimmicky item is a shirt iron. The idea is that it's a little travel iron that you can bring along and that is specifically meant for your shirt collar. Now, it's true, the shirt collar is one of those things that are immediately visible, but if you need to iron your shirt collar, you also likely have to iron at least the front of your shirt if you wear a jacket, so it looks neat. So my question is, why is it worth carrying around an extra weight just for your shirt collar if most hotels and Airbnbs offer an iron? I simply don't know the answer to that. A company once sent me one of those shirt irons. I tried them, I used them, and they heat up quickly, but they don't have any steam, so you don't really get out wrinkles out of your shirt body or collar anyways. Instead, iron your shirts with a regular iron and invest money into your ironing table. To learn more about ironing and how to iron a shirt, slacks, or your jacket like a pro at home, please check out our in-depth ironing series here. The 9th gimmicky item that's popping up a lot more recently is laundry detergents and soaps targeted specifically for men's clothing. I get it. The more specific you can target to a customer, the better it is. That being said, the difference in laundry detergent for men or for men's clothing is usually just the fragrance. So at the end of the day, the soap is no more or less effective for your men's clothing. It just has a different scent. Now, why would you want scented laundry detergents? Honestly, I don't know. I much rather choose a scent that suits my style and my skin tone, and I want my laundry detergent to be as neutral as possible. What I do care about, though, is that it gets out the stains. Regular laundry detergent does the job just as well as any other marketed laundry detergents, and it's really nothing that you should spend extra or additional money on, simply because it doesn't have an additional benefit other than the fragrance. If you want your clothes to have that specific fragrance, go for it. Last but not least, the 10th gimmicky item in menswear is the pocket square holder. Now, I get it. Most pocket squares out there are too small to actually stay in your pocket, and over the course of the day, they will slide down. The issue here is that the manufacturer cuts them so small because that way they get the most yield out of the fabric width. Now obviously the manufacturer is interested in making as much money as they can. You, as the person who wears the pocket squares, simply wants to look good. Because of that, at Fort Belvedere, we decided to actually look at each fabric individually and cut the size exactly right so it's perfect for your pocket square. Because if the square is too big, it looks very bulky. If it's too small, your pocket square will disappear. So if you buy a properly sized pocket square, you don't need any pocket square holders. You can have interesting folds every time. And if you want to learn how to fold a pocket square, please check out this video here. If you want to see the pocket squares that we offer in exactly the right size, please head over to our shop here. In today's outfit, I've incorporated 0 gimmicks. I'm wearing a suit with a rope stripe from Ralph Lauren Purple Label. A lot of people think it's from the 30s because it's a very bold striped suit. It's the favorite suit of my wife, and I also like it because it's different than the other ones I have. The overlap is slightly larger. It has nice wide lapels that are peaked, and so I can wear a slightly larger boutonniere with them. Again, that's not a gimmick, that's simply meant to be decorative, and it serves no other purpose. Of course, it's from Fort Belvedere, and you can find it in our shop here, just like these chartreuse green silk knit tie that you can see. My pocket square is solid white linen, which you also can find in our shop here, and it works well with my white dress shirt that is tailored for cufflinks. It has a collar that is not too widespread, not too classic. It's a very medium-sized collar that you can wear today and 10 years from now. The tips stay on the shirt. It is not curved in a weird way because it's a quality dress shirt from Siniscalchi in Milan. The suit trousers feature turn-ups or cuffs, which help to pull the weight down for a better line. My socks are very understated navy and blue shadow stripe socks from Fort Belvedere, and my shoes are dark olive green, which pick up the green tones in my tie. Last but not least, the cufflinks I'm wearing are malachite green from Fort Belvedere in sterling silver, and I matched them to my pinky ring, which is also with malachite and sterling silver.